the right productivity hacks can be an absolute game changer, but it's hard to know, where to start and what actually works in the real world. So that's why I just wanted to share my top 7 favorite productivity hacks that have absolutely revolutionized the way that I work and live. All right, first up, we have batching your meetings on your calendar. This one is an insane productivity hack. There's nothing that's going to kill your productivity worse than having a bunch of scattered meetings all over your calendar. And people do it all the time. Have you ever been like, let's say you come to the office maybe around 8, maybe 8:05, you're 5 minutes late to the office for your first meeting, you're already in a rush, your meeting gets over at like 9, then you have another meeting at 10:30, and then another one at noon, and then one at 2. You have all these dead spaces on your calendar because you have this time that's like 45 minutes or an hour or something between each of your meetings. So you have just enough time to do something and get kind of in flow state and into your project, but then you don't have enough time to finish it, to where you're frustrated all day. You're starting and stopping projects and you don't have any time to actually focus and get things done as you're running in between your meetings. So the hack is to batch them together as close as possible. And if you have a bunch of sales meetings, for example, a bunch of sales calls, batch those together back to back to back. Let's say in the afternoons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 p.m., right? And then the whole morning of your day, you have all this open white space on your calendar to focus on your most productive work, like your project work and things like that, like your marketing and your processes and systems and staff trainings and meetings and stuff like that. And so the number one hack is to eliminate the dead space on your calendar by batching your meetings closer together. Next, we have email management. The average worker checks their inbox over 15 times per day and receives over 120 emails per day. And when you just look at how much they spend time on email, it's crazy. It's like 11 hours per week. Imagine having that time back. We just stop the freaking madness and get rid of all this wasted time on emails. I recommend you check your email twice a day, not 15 freaking times, twice a day. I like around 11 or 11:30 to noon, and then from 4 in the afternoon till 5. And the reason I like that is it allows you to have open space in the morning to do, again, that productive type work without all these distractions. The second you check your email, let's say you wake up and check your email in the morning, the second you check your email, you are now in reactive mode. You're reacting to the world rather than being proactive. And it's a huge difference. So I want to go into my most important work, my most energetic moments of the day. In the morning for me, might be different for you. And I don't want to have the distraction of all those to-dos that the rest of the world put on my shoulders. That can wait till 11. And then I can do those, and then I can shut my email off until 4 because nobody needs me until then, right? That's an acceptable amount of time to get back to somebody, and it protects my greatest asset, which is my time. So really tighten up the way you look at your email because there's so much wasted space, and you'll be amazed at how this hack transforms your productivity. Next, get 2 phones. When I first got married, it was a Saturday morning, about 9 a.m. I was sitting in my hot tub. Life's good, right? Life's awesome. And then I look at my phone and I noticed I had a missed call. And then I noticed that I had a subsequent text message, a nasty gram text message from a client talking about all the problems that they have and they need this, they need that, etc. Right? And I remember it ruined my freaking day. It actually ruined my day. And you can say all you want that, it won't do that to me. Clients have my personal cell phone because I'm better customer service or all these things. It's not a big deal. Or even a bigger lie. I'll read it and I'll do it on Monday. It's not let me affected over the weekend. And if you think that's you're wrong. Because the second you open that message and you read it, you go from whatever mode you were in. Let's say you're reading a story to your kid at bedtime. You go from kid bedtime story mode, dad or mom mode, into work mode or problem solver mode. And you will never have peace of mind. You will never be able to have peace at home if you bring your work with you in a little black box called an iPhone, right? And if all your clients have access to that, or even some of them, they are never going to call your office. They're always going to call the most accessible thing, which is your cell phone. So I recommend you get a second phone. Drive tomorrow to Verizon or whatever and get a new phone and give your work phone, leave it at the office, give it to staff, whatever. Your client's going to keep calling that. And your new number is what you send to all your personal contacts, your family and your friends, and you say, hey, I have a new phone number, the other number is my work number. And if you get 2 phones, you will not be distracted at night, you will be able to get your peace back, and it's a huge productivity hack. So go drive to Verizon, get your new phone, and you will be amazed at how much peace you have in your life. Next, rapid fire method for tackling tasks, emails, and incoming messages. This one has done more for my efficiency than maybe anything else. And what it is when you're faced with like a list of things, let's say it's a big 25 different emails that you need to respond to. Most people will go and they will look at the list and they'll start cherry picking. They'll say, I want to do this one, and they'll scroll a little bit, and I want to do this one, and you'll pick and choose which ones to do. And we call that prioritizing, right? But in reality, what we're doing is just picking the ones we want to do and leaving the ones that we don't want to do, and then they'll just mount up. It just becomes such a big mountain of tasks that it's overwhelming later, and we don't get that much done. What I've realized is that most of the time, when I start cherry picking and prioritizing, I spend more time making the list of which one to do in which order than if I would just rapid fire down the list. So now what I do is I go to the top and I just don't even look at it. I just click on the first thing, the first task, the first email, the first callback, whatever it is for you. I click on the first one without thinking, I dive in, right? Do it. Do it when? Now. Do it now. And then once it's done, immediately go to number 2, and then immediately to number 3. And you just don't prioritize, you just get it done all the way down the list. And that rapid fire, there's momentum there. You feel like you're getting something done because you are, and it's way more efficient than cherry picking, oh, I want to call this person back, or I want to call that person back. Just call the next person on the list. Don't even hesitate. Click the CRM, open it, dial. Next, dial. Next, go. Rapid fire method, it'll change your life. Next, script out your day on paper before it even begins. This is one of my favorites because take 5 minutes in the morning when your day begins, or at night before your day begins the next day, and just list out what does tomorrow need to look like for it to be successful. I recommend having 2 things on your list that if nothing else on your list gets done tomorrow or today, if nothing else gets done but these 2 items, that it was a successful day. I know that if I get this done and everything else goes to hell, I don't have any progress on anything else, then I still had a successful day. Oftentimes we focus on way too many things, and we do 20% of 15 different tasks, and we actually get nothing done, right? We got 20, 30, 40% progress on 15 tasks, but nothing actually got accomplished and checked off the list. So pick your 2 things, script out your day, your important meetings, where you're gonna do your prioritized tasks, the 2 things, where are those gonna fit in your day, and then absolutely go execute on it. You do that every single day, and that momentum is like a snowball in your life, and it just rolls and rolls, and it gets easier and easier as you go along. Next, schedule time blocks for deep work. All right, focus, focus, focus is the name of the game. Why does it take some people 10 years to write a book, and then other people can write a book in 2 weeks? What's the difference? One of them is implementing deep work. The ability to dive into something for a specified period of time, like a longer period of time, and actually focus with no distractions. So the action item here, the hack that I want you to implement, is to schedule at least 3 hours. I recommend a full day, but if you can't find a full day, do at least 3 hours in a row where you can go somewhere else, lock the door, give all distractions away. All of them. No phone, no email, no notifications, no kids in the room, nothing to distract you from your work. And you write on a clean sheet of paper at the top your one thing you're gonna do in that 3-hour time block, or ideally in that 1-day time block, and that's what you're gonna focus on. You're gonna get that one thing done. Think about your life for a second. You probably have a few tasks, a few projects that are on your list that have been there for a while, and you just can't seem to ever get it done. I remember when I was first getting into online marketing and doing Facebook ads, I was learning how to do it. It's kind of a big project for me because I never did it before. Button click this and click here and understand how to do all this. And it felt like every time that I got kind of close to a breakthrough, right? A breakthrough moment, I would get distracted. A staff member would walk in and they would talk to me for like 30 minutes or whatever. And then when I'd go back, 30 minutes later to do my project, you kind of feel disoriented. Like, I can't really exactly remember. I had this train of thought going and I lost it. Or you took a 2-minute phone call. Did you know that an average person that gets interrupted for 2 minutes, it'll take them 30 minutes to get back into flow state? right? So that 2-minute phone call, you might think you lost 2 minutes of productivity. Wrong. You lost 30 minutes of productivity or more just to get back to where you were at before on your project because you got interrupted by some insignificant little distraction or disruption in your day. So the concept of deep work is to dive deep, schedule an entire day. What I did was I kept getting interrupted and I scheduled a day. I got all the Facebook ads done in one day that was taking me months and months and months before, and I just got off my list. Check it off. And now you can go on to the next thing. You'll be absolutely shocked when you do a full focus day like this. You'll be shocked at how much you get done in one day. It's like months of agony is solved in a day. You'll thank me later. Go schedule that right now as an action item on your calendar. Find a day, at least 3 hours, and do your most important work. Get it off your list. Lastly, delegate everything else. Right? This is the ultimate hack. Did you know that executives and business owners spend over 23% of our time on administrative type tasks like email management and, scheduling your appointments and scheduling all these things? That's 23% of your productivity that you can have back if you just pay somebody else to do that for you. Imagine that. That's like over 10 hours a week. That's like over 550 hours a year that you could save and do something else with that time. What else did I do with that time? I'm glad you asked. Spend it on higher leverage activities. What does that even freaking mean, right? Higher leverage activities is what are you going to do in the least amount of your time that gives you the biggest result? The least amount of your time to give you the biggest result in your business. If you're stuck doing all the administrative tasks all day and you're stuck in that grind, then you'll never have the ability to level up what you're doing with your time so you can scale the business faster. So you can do things like marketing, processes, systems, working on the business rather than just in the business all day. And having an executive assistant changes everything. They can take care of all those things for you. You can buy back your time, and now you can use it on more efficient tasks to scale your company forward. It's the ultimate hack, and I highly encourage you to do it now. People always say that you can't buy any more time, and I call BS on that. Right? You can't buy any more of your time. We both have the same 24 hours in a day, 365. But you can buy other people's time. You can pay somebody else for their time and they can use it towards your goals. That's what hiring somebody as an employee is, and it's doing a good service for them, it's doing a good service for you. Everybody wins. So why are you still doing all those administrative tasks? Go get yourself an executive assistant and see what it does for your life. Before I started using these 7 hacks, I felt like I was drowning in a sea of tasks and responsibilities. And once I started implementing these hacks, I made them into habits, and I was able to take control of my life and start making real progress again towards my goals. And for me, it's just been a total game changer, and I know it's going to be the same for you once you implement a couple of these or all of these into your business. So, I'm curious, which of these hacks, resonated most with you? Which do you think you can get the most value out of? And do you have a favorite? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're new here, hit the subscribe button, like and share this with your friends, and I will see you in the next video.